Hello, fellow Amazonians. This is David from Wonderpolo with another Amazon seller discussion. Today, we have some posts about sellers experiencing a massive drop in revenue and impressions. So I just want to take a look at this, maybe offer some suggestions or feedback as to how we can approach this and see if it's whether us, our problem, or is it the economy or the overall marketplace issue. So let's just quickly go through some of these posts about what these sellers are saying or experiencing. Here, we have a post titled "Worst Day on Amazon Since Lockdown," and basically this person is saying, I'm just going to summarize how they have no clue what's going on with sales revenue because it's been so slow, even slower than the beginning of the pandemic, and it's really weird. And this person is essentially asking, has anyone else experienced these similar things? And we have a seller replying, normally sales fluctuate, but I'm down 30% this year so far, basically with same inventory and product lines. And we have another seller saying that, not sure about your category, but this year I've seen a huge increase in competition. New competitors are desperate to sell at ridiculously low prices. All right, that's not good. Definitely not going to help sales for some sellers. This person is saying basically all of LA stores are closed, retail is suffering. So a lot of people are indicating that it's the economy. All right, let's just look at other posts real quick. And this person is talking about how sales have been consistent for the most part. And now this person is experiencing the same thing. And you can see here that usually in the past 30 days, sales have been consistent, and it's just dropped 50% for this person, and they have $0 sales so far of the day. And in the post, he or she mentions that usually he'll have half sales by noontime, and there's nothing in this picture. So another person showing a picture of impressions, just wow, cratering. Okay. Not good. Seems like similar experiences are being shared. And it seems like it's the same person who replied in the last post. And what this person is saying, major drop in traffic and views. And essentially their traffic took a massive nosedive in April 2023. It's very significant. And they think it's some unannounced Amazon changes. And you can see in the chart here, it just goes from 50,000 in sessions down to under 10,000. So that's a significant drop. And this final post I have earmarked here. And been Amazon for 6 years. My sales has decreased 20-fold compared to 2 years ago. I don't know how to explain this, except because of the economic downturn. And after retiring, I turned my 30-year-old hobby of jewelry design to a full-time job, but now I've been struggling ever since. So this person experienced a massive drop in her jewelry business. Some replies are no disposable income and changes in search function. So a lot of people are indicating that it's the economy. So I'm going to give some suggestions and what data metrics you can check in your Seller Central account to see if it's your product, your metrics, your own metrics, your seller metrics, or is it the economy overall. And I want to show you a report that we do for each of our clients and product lines as well. So we call this the product and search performance tracker. And ideally, we want to track our product performance and in relation to the market in terms of search performance, because the product performance tells us how well our product is doing, like sales, rank, price, volume, conversion rate, how many unique visitors. That's a product metric. But we also want to know what the category is performing. So how many searches are within a specific category, what search terms volume are, so that way you know if the market is increasing or decreasing. And when you relate that to your product sales, you can find out how your product is performing in relativity to the category. So that way, if your sales are dropping, but your product metrics are about the same in terms of conversion rate and percentages are all pretty consistent, but then there's a huge drop in search performance, then you know it's a market downturn and it's not really a product issue, it's more of an economic issue. And I'm going to quickly go through some of the data, just give some insights as to what these numbers can tell us. And I'm just going to focus on, let's see, I blacked out the SKU names to protect the clients. Identity, I'm just going to focus on this one because a lot of these ran out of stock, so I'll just focus. This one has the biggest drastic changes. So this top section right here. So we track up to 8 weeks of data on average, and you can see our first line is the sales rank of the product. It essentially tells us what the ranking is relative to the category of the specific listing. And as you can see here, over time, this ASIN kind of dropped a little bit in ranking as the sales drop, and especially when it ran out of stock and low stock. So low stock, it was starting to, as it goes lower and lower in stock, we've noticed that the sales rank usually drops a bit. Amazon stops prioritizing your ASIN. That's what we feel like it happens. And obviously when it goes out of stock, your units sold revenue drops so much that your sales rank craters. And that's exactly what happened. And as you can see here, we came back in stock and the sales rank skyrocketed back up. So did our sales went back up as well. So here's the conversion rate, and it basically tells us how well the conversions are, meaning that how many units were sold based on how many visitors we have. Okay, so this has several indicators. So for conversion, a low conversion rate can indicate that there are cheaper competitors out there. That means that other listings, other competitors are offering better value, and your visitors, although they're coming in to look at your product, they choose not to buy because there is a better value elsewhere. And that could be either better content in your competitor's listing, better pricing, or better availability in terms of, let's say, your FBM and then the other competitor's prime. All that means is when you see your conversion rate drop, that means your listing is becoming less attractive relative to your competitors. And unique visitors is telling you basically how many people are coming in, your impressions, your CT. It's like a combination of CTR and impressions, right? How many unique visitors come in. We just ignore impressions and CTR for that reason because we just want to have as little metrics as possible to give us indications of how our listings are doing. So we just want unique visitors. So you can see that, you know, at our peak, we had a lot more, and then it dropped over time. But obviously, when you run out of stock, you have to kind of restart that ranking process. So ideally, never run out of stock, but it happens. And you can see our buy box dropped as well because we ran out of stock, but then it went back to healthy, and our buy box went back up. Okay, so these are all product metrics. And now let's look at search performance metrics. And this is in your, so all this information, first of all, the product performance metrics can be found in your FBA inventory dashboard. And your search performance, we used to follow a lot more metrics, but we just try to dial down as little data as possible that gave us maximum insight. So we decided to choose the search query volume of a specific ASIN and we take the sum of all the search terms in that search query report to give us an indication of how many searches are that is relative or relates to that product listing. And this essentially gives an insight how many people are searching on Amazon for this product that is relatable to this product. So what that means is the more searches there are, the higher the volume. That means the more people are looking to buy. The lower the volume, the less people are buying. And that tells you how well the economy is doing, because if more people are looking to buy, that means they have more money, the economy is doing better, and vice versa. And as you can see here, back 5, 6, 7 weeks ago, our search volume was very high. I mean, 5 weeks ago it was about 30,000, and you can see that these unique visitors are it just kind of jumped up a bit, because relative to search volume, that's what it should indicate, right? The more people searching for things, the more unique visitors you should have, and therefore more sales, and that's how it usually goes. So if your product performance metrics are great and your search performance volume is high, then you would have good results, good sales data, results. And as search query volume drops, and even if your conversion metrics are more or less the same, let's say here you're about 2.45% conversion rate, but because our search volume dropped so much that our sales is down 25%. So, and that makes sense because we have 25% less unique visitors. That tells you that although our product performance, this specific listings metrics is performing at the same level as 5 weeks ago, but our sales is down 25% because our search volume is down significantly for this category. And that tells us that it's not the listing problem, it's the problem of just search volume, the number of people looking to buy. It's just much less. The market's shrunk. So obviously your sales is going to shrink. And that tells us that this is a market condition and there's really not much we can do about it. I mean, we can try to improve our conversion rate and capture more of the impressions, driving more traffic, but there's only so much you can. There's a marginal diminishing of return in how much you can spend to improve your metrics for a product. So, from looking at this data in this report, it shows that we have a shrinking market volume in terms of buyers looking to buy things on Amazon. So, at the end of the day, it appears that the sentiment on those seller forums where we're talking about people having less disposable income, there's not as much people buying things on Amazon, it's more or less true. So it is possible that is less to do about your own product metrics and more to do with market performance. And this is one of the ways that you can do to see, is it my own product issue, my own listing issues, or is it more of a market condition issue? All right, I hope you found this video helpful. And if you do, please do subscribe, leave a thumbs up. It takes very little effort from you, and it makes a massive impact on how YouTube ranks my content. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.